Alright guys, we're going to look a little bit more at the overhook from closed guard. I've got two videos already on this. One is talking about how to do the choke or the punch choke, so I'll put that link right here. And the second video, I talk about doing sweeps, whether going left or right, and I'll put that one right here as well. But this last one, we're going to look at the triangle or the omoplata. So when I get this overhook, typically their arms are going to be the only thing that's stopping them from being swept or defending, and where their arms go is going to give me the triangle or the omoplata entry. So let's get right to it. So the other videos, I go over how to get to the overhook. Here's two ways to do it. The first is I'm looking at a cross sleeve grip, and I get a 2-on-1. So 4-finger cuff grip. I'm going to bump and pull. And I like to pull over my head. Some people come here and come through, but I find that when I'm here, I keep the cross sleeve, I come underneath, I come over the arm, I find the collar here, and I pull them in tight. So this is my overhook. Now it's pretty good, it's not great, but I want to push them this way. So I open my guard, I push, and then relock. Look how I'm switching my foot to come over the top. If he drives back into me, it actually helps because I can cinch up a little tighter and re-push. But I want to keep him this way. So this is our entry. Okay, so one more time on this whole setup. 2-on-1, I bump, I pull him up high, bring my arm through, capture the far side collar, switch my gi and get my lock. Or excuse me, switch my feet and get my lock. So now I'm good to go with my overhook system. What we're going to look at is this hand, okay? I want to fight for the triangle here. So for the sweeps or the chokes, a lot of times when I'm pushing this way, he'll post. So if I'm looking for a collar choke, it's right here, and he'll often drive back into me, right, exactly. Or if I want to fight for this hand like a sweep, I might come under and pull it. So these are my kind of early stage attacks. So let's say I go under this arm. Look, I'm a little above the elbow and I pull it. The natural reaction is for Matt to pull it back. He's going to yank it back right there. Now, if I catch the wrist or even sometimes the elbow, I can push just enough to bring my foot out, and it's hard for him to block as I turn up here. So now I'm in a high guard. Quick note, as I extend my feet, I can pull my hand here and usually get an arm bar, but sometimes they turn the elbow, so it's hard. But once I'm here, now I'm in the high guard setup for the triangle. So now we're back to normal things. Let's turn this way a little bit. The normal kind of entries for the triangle where I'm going to reach across, I get a sleeve and an elbow. You can figure out however your configuration is. I lift my hips, I pull him across, complete my angle, and finish the triangle. So the trick here is, once I get to this overhook, is beating this arm. Because if I just try to pull the leg out, he's going to grip the leg and block it all the time, and it actually opens up the ability to pass. So what I always want to make sure is that I have control of the arm before I unlock my guard. So look, I've turned, I relock. If I push here, sometimes he pushes back into me, I can lock it here. We're fighting back and forth like this. I don't want to try to come up through the hole here, because a lot of times you won't have enough space or the angle. But if I pull this arm up and he fires back, that's perfect. That's a really good chance for me to jump over. So now I'm good. I reach across. Look how my hips are up high. I pull him tight, pull my workspace to me, get my shin, turn, and finish. So that's kind of how I like to get to the triangle. Now let's look at what happens if I want to go on the other side. Let's turn this a little bit. For the omoplata, because this happens sometimes. So instead of going 2-on-1, let's say I get him down here. I have a collar tie, and I have a bit of an overhook, like a shallow overhook. I open, I turn, I come through, and get the grip here. Just another way to get in. So one more time, collar tie, bit of an overhook. I turn, arm comes through, and here I am. Again, if he pushes back into me, every time he comes back in here, I'll take that time to chalk up this part of the collar a little tighter. And then I turn back into him and relock. Makes it a lot harder. If I'm fighting for this arm, sometimes this arm, they'll tuck it low. I don't know if you guys can see. We'll turn a couple different angles. But when I feel that, I'm going to push his head away, fire my legs through, and come here. Now, if I'm not careful, he can move, he can get out a lot of ways. So as soon as I'm here, I want to find the belt and make sure I'm here. So now if he tries to move, it's hard. I can use my legs to sit up, come here, and now I can finish the omoplata. So let's look at this from a few angles. And sometimes I don't even go right to the omoplata. I try for the triangle, and when they defend, I go for the omoplata. This is what I mean. So he's here, collar tie, shallow overhook, I turn, I get like this. I'm tight. I start pushing him this way, and I'm fighting for this arm. As I get here, maybe I get up like this. I'm in my high guard, and he tucks the arm. Because he knows I want to pull it across. So now I can just push his head away. I can even grab the belt, and I'm going to swing my legs here. As soon as I'm here, he might roll. So if he tries to roll, I got to keep this belt tight. Use my hand here to sit up, and now I'm like this. Make sure I'm hugging the far hip. Couple ways I can finish. I can come up here, but it's easier if I hit the scape a little bit, flatten them out, scissor my legs, hands on the mat. This is one of the best things I like about this. Hands on the mat, my head goes down as my hips come up. So let's look at those two in succession. I'm going to do them from this angle. It's hard to see the triangle, but just so you get both sides, right? So I come here, there's the start, so I have control before I open my guard. I turn, overhook here. I start fighting for this arm, he pulls it back, boom, I fire this. I get my far reach, come here, finish my angle, there's my triangle. Same setup now, where I'm here, I get my overhook, I fight for the arm, he pulls it back, I get my high guard, and he tucks right there. It's going to be really hard to pull this arm across. So instead of fighting for this arm across, grab the belt. Or look, I turn a little bit here, push his head away, boom. I sit up, find the hip escape a little bit, edge my legs, and finish the omoplata. So the last kind of two submissions I like in this series, again, the first video, I have a cross collar and a punch choke. The second video, I have sweeps to either side, and that's where I really start fighting for that arm. And then this final video is when they're trying to defend that arm from getting swept, it sets up the triangle, the omoplata. So try all this out, hope it works.